First, just thoughts on DQ overall and the game.
Yeah, special night for him. Obviously, second half, he was great, thought he did a really good job defensively on the board, controlled the offense, ran a lot of our stuff through him. I thought he was fantastic, made the right read. Most possessions. I think our offense was rolling there really the last three quarters. But second half, really impressive and heck of an effort on his part. So a lot of growth there, but, man, really took a step forward tonight.
Just what you think overall of, being down 20 at half and answering that the third quarter the way you did, tying it before.
Yeah, resilient group. This is a resilient group. We could have given in, and this group just chooses not to drop the sword. We continue to fight and compete, and to come back and win the third quarter the way we did. I think we were up 2 at the start of the fourth and got down a little bit, 6-7, fought our way back, never gave in. We could have given there, given in there in the fourth, down 6-7, high-quality shots to close out, executed, everything we wanted down the stretch. Just needed one more shot to go our way. Fox hit a big shot. I don't know what else to say. You get that stop, it's a different game. And then, Harper made a tough shot over Sadiq at the rim. And then we got a couple good looks down the stretch ourselves.
What was the defensive adjustment out of half? I saw you guys were in a little bit of zone as well.
We were primarily zone, yeah. And then a little bit of, transition. And we did some things out of the zone. But I think it was very disruptive. It kept Queen at the rim, allowing him to rebound. The guards were great. Having her back was fantastic, regardless of man or zone. So, just, more intentional there in the second half with our defense and our rebounding. But give the guys a ton of credit.
And speaking of her, just first game back, sometimes guys are a little bit tepid or timid just coming back from injury. But what did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, that's not Herb. He doesn't ease his way into stuff. He knows one way to play, and that's how he plays. And he had us all energized and focused. And, he's such a special player, and he means so much to our team, especially on the defensive end. Obviously, we got a ways to go there. But just having his spirit back was a huge lift for us tonight.
And, just going back to Queen, just what's it like seeing one a rookie and two a center being able to just take over games for stretches the way he has this season?
Well, any rookie that takes over like that, it's really special. And then, to have a hub like that as your 5 spot that can play make and score and make plays, it's really special. You don't see that too often in this league. I think you and I can probably come up with a couple names in the league that can do that. But that was impressive. I don't know how to say it other than that. It was a special performance on his part to make plays, to pass the ball, play make, create for others and for himself to get to the rim. Then he made timely plays too, in these clutch moments. For him to have that poise at this young age, it's special. You don't see that too often. Yeah, really special performance.
Yeah, pretty much that entire second half, the offense was either Queen or Trey Murphy. What's it just like seeing those two kind of building that chemistry and figuring out how to have special performances like this where they're playing off of each other?
Yeah, it's great to see that growth out of those two. They play off each other so well. Murph's finding ways to play off ball now with Queen out there. He doesn't always have to have on ball coverage. So they have a great synergy going. Everybody right now with Queen, and the way we're moving off ball right now is really special. It's tough to guard. They don't know where we're cutting from, where we're moving from. Queen can take you off the dribble and make plays. But overall, the ball was moving in the second half. It was Queen, but as many people in transition, guys were sharing it, moving. And ultimately, that's how we want to play. I think our assists were up tonight, 35 tonight. Queen had a bulk of those. But it's great to see those two having synergy, but the team as a whole trusting each other.
How much do you like to see Queen get to the free throw line like that? Got 13 trips to the line tonight.
Yeah, as we've talked about, we got to make up the margin somewhere in the three-point line, right? It's going to be the paint, the free throw line, and then turning teams over. I think we did that tonight. We got to the paint. I don't know 84 points in the paint. That was special. And then, to get to the line for Queen second half was really impressive for a young guy. Keep putting pressure on the rim. I got to watch that last play and see if we could have done it again there. That's probably a teachable moment. Was that a time? I have not seen the play yet, but that was at another moment to get to the rim. But I thought he was fantastic. Downhill, making plays for himself or others, or drawing free throws.
What's kind of your message to a guy like that when he has a big night, but he misses a shot at the end? He's probably beating himself up about the shot, but what do you kind of say to him to keep his head up?
Well, you got us there, you know, and you're going to have that. You're going to be in that position again. Trust it. We believe in you. Trust it. Make the right play.
James, can you talk a little bit more about the other guys that were trying to cut off of Derek Queen's playmaking? Like, you can focus on his playmaking, but it's really the other guys that also made it happen. I think Trey Herb cut more than we've seen probably in a game this year. So how's that process been like? Are you guys working on that games? Are you trying to get those guys moving more so that Queen's, facilitating can happen?
It is. We haven't cut that much, over the last couple of years. This is a little bit different for us. We still like cutting, in the past, but it was more off the pick and roll, where now it's more out of a five-man hub that's making these plays. And we still ultimately want to cut regardless of who has the ball. But these guys are just finding avenues to get open to the rim. They're playing little what we call gaggles of clusters of off-ball actions and then reading the play from there. And we have trouble with it, obviously, defensively, and it's a tough cover. So this should only continue to grow throughout, the season. It's hard to scout for because it's really unpredictable. You can't really, as a coach, you can go in and tell them, here's what they're going to do. But on the fly, when they're doing this, it's very unpredictable offense. And that's how we want to play. And then you add the transition to it. That's another element. You add the half court. I think we had the balance today in the second half of transition, early offense, mixed with half court, hub, off-ball action. That's a pretty good combination offensively.
You're about to get a few more days between games. How much are you just looking forward to these opportunities for practice coming up here in the next?
Well, it's good. We need more practice. Obviously, there's so many areas of growth for us. We got a long way to go, and we'll do that. Tomorrow we'll get in the gym. We'll look through this one, see what we can do better. Areas of growth coming out of this one, and we'll have two consecutive practices to get after this thing. So I'm proud of our group, and finally we have 2 days to kind of breathe and get better and get ready for Portland.
Jimmy, can you talk a little bit about the defense that you're probably going to want to work on a lot in these upcoming practices, right? 77 points a day in the first half. I think coming into today, last 7 games, you guys were allowing, I think, 120 points a game, really bad at the rim, corner threes.
It's our number one priority. This is on me to move the needle in that direction. We have to get better defensively. It's not an option. We just have to. And it starts in transition. I think they had 20 points at half in transition. We had been making up ground there, and we have just fallen back the last 2 nights defensively. So we got to get back to principles there. Number one, stopping the ball, not bleeding in transition. The board has been much better for us. We got to continue to hammer on the board. Our pick and roll coverage has to get better. We're going to have to continue to use this disruptive defenses as we get our feet underneath us, these zones, these presses that teams are going to have to prepare for. Ultimately, we got to get our man-to-man defense better, though, period. The physicality, the pick and roll defense, the off-ball defense has to improve. And that's on all of us, including me, to get that right.
You guys obviously have 3 rookies that have been really impactful for you guys this year. They had Dylan Harper, who had a really good game for them tonight. What's it been like just seeing this rookie class coming in this season and the impact they've been having throughout the league? So many of those young guys coming in and making an impact early.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive. And, we have 2 up there, and we're playing a third, and Peavy's giving us great minutes. And it's a really strong class. From top to bottom, tremendous depth, and guys that are stepping into the moment, and making the most of their opportunity. These don't look like rookies to me. These are guys having major impact in clutch moments. We just saw 2 of them. Queen and Harper made, really big plays down the stretch. So a lot of maturity, and we're very fortunate to have 3 of them. We have 3 really good rookies, and they're all playing, and we trust them all, and they're only getting better. So, the stock of talent is extremely high right now. Good. Thank you.